So, it's time. Yes, I do have a headache, of course. I'm just gonna try to ignore it. Okay, finally Paint.net wants to work. Finally Paint.net, oh goodness. So, Russia legit is just getting sanctioned. We now have Kaliningrad falling to the Polish and the Lithuanians, as Belarus meets a similar fate with Ukraine and Latvia invading as well. And guess what? Oh, NATO decides to steal vodka. Finland and Norway began invading, and of course Sweden began invading this area of Russia as more of Russia begins to collapse. Oh. And now this is all captured. Oh. Okay, well, now it's time to demilitarize Iran. And of course, the uninvadable, of course, well, I don't know, Pakistan's just gonna remain neutral. And of course we have China. Thailand and Vietnam join the war on American side, as well as Thailand, Taiwan, North Korea. Oh wait, Japan will never be on the red team.
To get back up, climbing and climbing.
Well, so now so Mongolia is now backed into a corner. Some weird stuff is now gonna happen. And Mongolia is now taken. And North Korea now capitulates. And the Taiwanese, his invasion of Maine. Oh yeah, also Hong Kong and Macau fell. And now we have the Vietnamese invasion of Hainan. And now we have Vietnam invading into main China. What is... I don't know what just happened. Now there's some tensions building over here. Especially, you know what? AKA the Islamic State, which you probably know what that is. Hi, cheap mate. Oh. Is this a mods only stream, or is it that I give too many people that? Switzerland! Actually, well, they're gonna do something. They will do something once I'm finished. They do have to do something. As they continue, as the American army well, now what is gonna happen in Alaska? Oh goodness, Russia's now invading the state. This is like the first time America has ever been invaded in their mainland since like 1812 or something. So this area is now just taken care of. As the area is now totally reversed. As it is now reversed, and this area is being invaded because Russia has backed out their military. They began invading up through here, and now we have a Japanese invasion of Sakhalin, okay. Ireland would join the blue team even though they're not in NATO. Ireland isn't in NATO, so no. Even though I will put them on the blue team when it comes time. Also, Denmark is in there. I'm just lazy, so I'm not gonna do it. Oh, yay. Well, now it's time for the invasion of Kashmir, as the area is taken by Indian forces. And continued pushing is in there. For some reason, I nearly vomited like 3 times today because of my sickness. It's better. But... Oh. Yeah. Well, the uninvadable country is now being invaded. Mainly because the Taliban is also having rebellions. This time it's India invading them, not America. As their country is collapsing, Afghanistan falls to the blue team. As Iran is now being invaded. Yo, China would realistically fight back against. Now, the Gulf invasion of Iran. Now Iran is landlocked. Well, I mean, they have to take control of the Caspian Sea before that. There we go. And Iraq is now it is now time to demilitarize Iran as the country begins to collapse. Also, as this is now what the world looks like, and it is almost that Russia has no chance. This area is finally invaded as the push towards Moscow begins. A different front is started up here. Until this offensive into Moscow proves successful. Poland is actually the only country that was able to successfully invade Moscow and take it. That was back in the 1700s, and their country is really weak. I'm not saying that they're that weak, though. But I guess... Yes, MPSK, why does he have to mention that? And now Russia's collapse is now underway. Russia decides not to surrender for some reason. Technically, I'm the owner, so well. as the coastline of China is now taken. Battle of Shanghai. Next up is the Battle of Shanghai, which goes successful for the blue team. And Mongolia cannot really be pushed into. Finally, another landing is made via Sakhalin, and this proves to be total madness for the Russians, as the Chinese cannot hold off the invasion, as South Korea now invades Russia for the, I don't know. The second Russo-Japanese War takes place. As whatever this area is called is invaded. The USA and Canada, yeah, they began a joint offensive. This is it. Russia is still likely the biggest country in the world. They just have one problem. Their country is collapsing, that is. And Iran now, after a stalemate for a while, is now completely invaded. China is actually probably going to be the last one standing, as the collapse of Russia is proven to be an easy collapse. In fact, their economy is basically kind of like the USSR. But instead, they're trying to invade Georgia instead of Afghanistan. Their collapse is an economical one. As the second, by the way, Vietnam is on the blue team because they now changed their government. I don't know why they have to, because you don't really have to be a democracy to join NATO. It is really just anybody who hates Russia. It is literally the Russian hate alliance. But I mean, I guess Russia has an American hate alliance. Well, I mean, I guess the two major superpowers have hate alliances against each other. But kind of. Well, China looks like they're not gonna live. Also, the good news is that just like Russia, an economical collapse is implemented. Oh yeah, they tried to do economic reforms, but those get blocked by a mysterious third-party source. And that third-party source is the Swiss. I know, very funny. Because the Swiss were actually made. They're legit pulling the strings from behind the scenes. In support of the Allies, not in support of the Axis. They're just doing it in their favor. Russian collapse is now in motion. After Russian collapse being in motion, Russia capitulates as they liberate Mongolia. As Mongolia is now liberated. Mongolia becomes liberated as the push into China has begun, as their economical collapse meets a similar fate as Russia's, being the collapse of the communist regime in China. This is it for the red team as the world now settles into a peaceful state again. Even though this world will not be the same, it will not be the same as it once was. The whole communist ideology is gone. There is no trace of communism left. Well, maybe except for Laos and Cambodia, which you're able to sneak through. It is now time for the new... I guess the WDO being a thing. Well, it's NATO. Well, it's actually NATO, not the WDO. Well, it would actually be it would be the WTO. If it would really be NATO, then it would be the WTO. Now it is time to draw this new peace treaty, which is gonna be a long and disastrous war. It is now time to draw. It is now time to draw this new peace treaty. So I kind of prefer Kaliningrad to be given to Poland. It would be more historically accurate. Goodness, that is a big brush. So Kaliningrad is now given to Poland. Georgia is given a weird-looking strip of land after another Russian defeat. It is legit the Cold War all over again. It's the Cold War all over again, eh? It is unknown that the Swiss actually intended for this to happen. Belarus has a new government set up. So this is now what? Of course, the communist ideology is now basically destroyed. Now the Koreas are reunited. Japan gets Sakhalin. Now I would say, now here's something that would of course happen. Like, straight lines are a big no-no. Yes! Oh man, that's 2. This is now the world. This is what the world now looks like. Now it is time. Oh yeah, Armenia. Armenia is also destroyed. Like, they're given to Azerbaijan. I mean, I guess the Allies always win. No matter what, the Allies technically have to win. Well, I mean, they've won the past 2 world wars. They even won the Cold War. Even though it was technically questionable. The fact that they won is questionable. Okay, well. Now it is time for the Second War on Terror. Yep, it's time for ISIS to go bye-bye. If you know what I mean. So Iran and Afghanistan have been taken care of. Of course, the War on Terror was started because... So, it is Turkey and the Saudis against these countries. Yemen and Iraq, Syria, this is actually pretty appropriate music for this situation. The Allies are normally never red, they're normally blue. The USA, Canada, NATO, of course, because the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Poland, Norway, Sweden, I forgot to give Finland territories. Luxembourg, stay silent. Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, the Baltics, Czechia, Austria, Hungary, the Balkans. Greece is silent. Greece and Cyprus are silent. And I forgot Portugal and Ireland, which have now joined NATO. Denmark is, it's really hard to color in. Of course there's this. Well, no one has done any suggestions yet, so I basically get to do what I want. Oh, wait. Should I just turn down the hardness? Turn down the tolerance. Yes, you just have to turn down the tolerance. Okay. That looks way better. Okay, that is a way better. That looks way better. I forgot about these. And this. This. Oh, wait. I am legit making all this perfect, even though I probably shouldn't be. So now it is, well, Russia, oh yeah, of course there is your usual India, Thailand, Vietnam, China, these guys, Korea, Japan. And, well, technically they have a truce, so that cannot be possible. They have a truce, so that is not possible. Mongolia can invade. This is now... Yemen is just part of the civil war, so they fall easily. Syria, because of the civil war, falls easily. Now Iraq's gonna be a hard one because I guess this is America's revenge for the war in Iraq. Well, of course, Kuwait's gonna be joining the red team because they want revenge on Iraq. Of course, Kuwait, Iran, Afghanistan. Now, Pakistan's still staying neutral. They're not doing anything. But I guess Kuwait and the new Iran are now pushing it. Iraq is now becoming a triangle. And now. Okay, there we go. So I guess everything that happens is that Jordan, yeah, they're just silent. It is a peace treaty with multiple countries having allies here. Saudi Arabia is willing to... Okay, so... This is now what Turkey is given. Saudi Arabia gets claims here. Jordan gets a little bit. Even though they weren't involved, they still get some. I forgot to give Iran stuff. This is, we'll just wrap up that. I kind of feel like Iraq kind of looks like a duck. Iraq now looks like a duck. So, yeah. Yeah. Iraq does kind of look like a duck. Now it is time for the new biggest event of all time. Well, not really of all time. This is resolved. In fact, these guys are technically allies. The East African Federation now unites under a single banner. Of course, these guys are not gonna go full imperialism. Well, South Sudan is thinking about joining. Eventually, that is accepted. Eventually, their request is accepted because they are part of the technical union. And now it is time for the second Gaddafian War. Nope, it is Morocco versus the Western Sahara. I can't really do a war of this, so it's really just this. Like, it's... Well, the world is already looking fairly different. Now, Pakistan and India. The reason that the USA is allied to Pakistan is because India doesn't always want to cooperate. But eventually, these countries are able to work out their differences and now become a country. Not really a union, it's more of assimilation. So this is India. Well, we also got Sri Lanka, and the Maldives don't exist. We've been going for 42 minutes. Qatar is... Qatar collapses. Qatar and Bahrain are given to the Saudis because the whole thing. I forgot about Yemen, which I think would be given to Saudi Arabia. So the Saudis have now annexed Yemen, making them a new superpower. I'm still thinking about the Iraq equals duck thing. These countries are puppeted and are now unified into one. I don't know what this area would be called. I think it would be called something like the Central Islamic Republic or something. Well, now it's the Israeli-Palestinian war. That is going to be unresolved. Now, everyone is just being neutral, and Saudi Arabia is westernized, but they support Palestine. So it is really just a one war. Well, I mean, this puppet and Turkey and... Now, Turkey's in NATO, but they're the ones attacking, so NATO isn't going to be activated. Even though the USA and Canada are. We are now going to have... Well, I mean, Greenland joins because they're now in the... Canada is actually given to Greenland. I mean, Greenland, it was the other way around. Greenland was given to Canada, but whatever. So this is basically what happens. We're gonna use the recolor tool for this. And bam! So this is now the world in like 2036 or something. The USA versus Mexico probably would happen if there was a Mexican Civil War. Russia is still fairly strong. So that's gonna be that's gonna be a little iffy for NATO. Belarus, well, oh yeah, I forgot Belarus is a puppet of NATO now, so. So the Baltics now will unite because for some reason they feel threatened by Russian presence. They feel threatened by it, but that can't really be possible because even though this can't be achieved because Russia is basically now nothing compared to what they once were. Next thing, Serbia. Finally, the Serbian puppet is struggling economically, so they collapse and they're given to Kosovo. So that is also Czechoslovakia has been brought back. And I mean they look pretty strong. Well, Afghanistan's also one of the majority that thinks like it feels like it needs to be divided, but is now a puppet. So it can't. This is China looks kind of weird. And we're like 15 years in the future already. But Mexico is now in a civil war. Who they're fighting, whom we do not know. Apparently say they originate here. Technically, Mexico is their rightful territory, so they're just red, not... Oh yeah, and oh wait, no, it's supposed to be recolored. That's the C. That's the C, you dummy. A Yucatan rebel now pops up, even though... Okay, well... You know what that meant? The USA has now been triggered. As we have our own rebel group being supported in the Yucatan. I have no idea why Mexico would have pro-American forces anyway. But, Mexico is a half-questionable country. As, Baja California is now seized. Oh no, I guess it would be captured, not really seized. Okay, well, America tells them to move their territory. And that's kind of a dumb idea because you can't really move a rebel group's territory. But it works for some reason. Should I just... They've been going for nearly 30 minutes and no one has been sending a chat. Anyways, now it is time to get into the final stages of this Mexican Revolution. So, yeah, oh wait, I just found something really weird. Mexico looks like an Among Us. Mexico now looks like an Among Us. Mexico is now just collapsing. So, America and Mexico. So, now it is time for the newest. So now it is time for some new borders. My favorite new borders. Well, I mean, that's just great. This is now the USA, and the rest is given to the rebels that are now American supporting. Because just why not? Oh wait.
Looking down from the heights that we've built all
That's an American territorial expansion. Oh yeah, and Russia just took the L. You can, for some reason, do that. And now... a union is now made in Central Asia between Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. I just did this to fix the borders, okay? It still looks cursed as heck, but I mean, it's not that bad. Kuwait is now, for some reason now, joins Iran. So, maybe Persia could have been formed right there. But... I think now it is time for an American invade. Well, no, we're not gonna do America invading Cuba. That has been done way too many times. So,